Hi, everyone, and good evening. First of all, thank you very much for joining us today for our very first webinar. As you know, today's webinar is about infusing positivity in our life. In the extraordinary time that we live in currently, you can feel a little challenged and sometimes overwhelmed. Just look at the news, media, and people around us chatting about negativity all the time. But it is not so difficult to find silver lining in dark clouds, as you will soon discover and experience. I will shortly hand you over to our host Kalyani and Jayanti to share their brief story and why they decided to do this session. Just a quick housekeeping: in case the meeting drops out after 40 minutes, you can come back in using the same link. So thank you once again, everyone. And now over to you, Jayanti and Kalyani.
Just quickly before I hand over to Jayanti, can you please indicate with a thumbs up if you can see the slides, please? All right, I'm just going to admit one more person. Jayanti, over to you.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today for our very first webinar. Before we start, I want to give you a little bit of background about myself. As some of you may know, I'm a biomedical researcher. And for many years, I was stuck in this pattern where I was thinking very critically, and I thought that I was being very scientific, and my mind was shut to new ideas, to spirituality. And then I realized that the missing element of my life is actually spirituality. And when I went on my own spiritual journey, I realized that in that process, I was becoming more scientific as I was open to more ideas. I had a creative mind. And one of the key things in my spiritual journey has been something called the Silver Method, which has really opened my mind to what we can do if we can harness our own intuition, if we can just connect with ourselves through simple daily techniques of meditation, mindfulness, and just having a more positive outlook towards life. Kalyani, would you like to build up on that and share your story as well?
Sure. Thank you, Jayanti. Hello, everyone. I'm Kalyani. I think most of you know me. I am a senior sustainability officer in the New South Wales government. My background is architecture. I'm creative, I'm spiritual, and I believe I'm intuitive. My intuition has oftentimes led me to key points, and it has made me reach out to specific people and places. It is serendipity. I believe in that. Oftentimes, I have doubted this inner voice, though. I second-guessed myself and I procrastinated forever. What I did not know was the fact that intuition can be improved by practice. This was actually mind-blowing. And we can improve this just as we can do any other skill by practice. And all of us have the ability to do this. So what Jayanti mentioned, we did an intuition program for 4 days called the Silver Method. And this experience has made me really go deeper. And I want to share it so that others can gain the advantage too. So let's move on, and we'll talk about setting an intention today, and I will let Jayanti take over again.
Okay, so I want to speak about this idea of setting an intention. And whenever we go for a webinar or something that's meant to be for our personal growth and development, I think it's really important to set an intention. Why are we doing this? So for me and Kalyani, for both of us, the purpose of doing this is that we've brought into our lives some very drastic changes just by doing some really simple practices. And we feel like we can really add value to other people's lives by sharing these little nuggets of information. So that's our intention. And I would like to know what's your intention behind joining this webinar today. So if I can get somebody from, can I ask Gayatri to share?
Sure. Yeah. So the intention behind this actually to come out as a calm person, because we live in such a chaotic time right now. We don't know what's going to happen. There's a lot of anxiety and uncertainty And is meditation is something which has always helped me to achieve that kind of calmness that we need in times like this. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Thank you.
Thank you,
you.
Gayatri.
If there's any other people who want to share something, you can chat to us in the window, and we can open up for you to speak, or you can share.
Would anyone like to share? I can see someone has raised their hand. Dheeraj, would you like to share, please?
I would only say thank you. Has made us look more within. We talk about it all the time, but we generally don't do it. So I'm looking forward for this to this presentation of yours and Jayanti's as well, to see how we can actually look within and get that inner peace.
Perfect. Thank you very much for sharing. We are now going to move on to the next part of our webinar. Hang on a minute. Okay. So this is the exciting part. We're going to do a guided meditation, which is a deep relaxation exercise for your mind and body. I am going to guide you gently through this meditation, and I'm going to play a track in the background. So what I want you to do while I start this track is indicate with a thumbs up if you can hear me okay, as well as hear the track in the background. I'm just going to play the track now. Can you hear the track? Can you all hear the track? Is it sounding good, everyone? Okay, perfect. Now, please sit in a comfortable position and close your eyes. Sit back, close your eyes. Take a deep breath. I'm now going to bring attention to various parts of your body. We will begin with a 10 to 1 countdown to take you deeper. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I am now going to ask you to bring your attention to various parts of your body and put them in a deep, relaxed state. Starting with your scalp, the skin covering your head. Take another deep breath. Relax your forehead. Your eyebrows. Relax your eyelids. Feel them getting heavier. Relax your facial muscles. Feel your tongue dropping down in your lower jaw. Relax your jaw. Take another deep breath. Feel the feeling of relaxation flowing gently downwards to your throat, your neck, your shoulders. Feel your shoulders relax. Relax your back. Relax your spine from the neck to the tailbone. Feel a gentle tingle flowing in your spine from your neck to the tailbone. Take a deep breath. Relax your chest. Use your imagination to relax all the organs within your chest. Your heart, your lungs, your diaphragm. Take another deep breath. Relax your abdomen. Feel the feeling of relaxation flowing down to your lower abdomen, your hips, thighs, knees, calves, ankles, feet, toes. Feel the relaxation as your hands become loose, your palms are relaxed, your fingers are getting curled inwards. Take another deep breath. Feel this blissful feeling of being relaxed from head to toe. This is a deep relaxation for the body. I am now going to guide you to relax your mind and go to a deeper level than before. When I count from 1 to 3, at the count of 3, you will project your mind at an ideal place of relaxation. 1, 2, 3. You are now at your ideal place of relaxation. On a warm, sunny day, you can see miles of the ocean. You're walking barefoot on the sand. You can feel the sand squishing through your toes. The warmth of the sun on your skin. You can smell the ocean breeze. It's a beautiful blue sky without a cloud. You can hear birds singing in the distance. You feel yourself experiencing nature at its purest. You are one with nature. You are one with the universe. Enjoy this feeling of calmness. When I speak to you next, you would have spent 1 hour at this deep, relaxed state of mind. You are now at a state of mind deeper than before. Noises will not distract you now. Instead, noises will make you more focused, more relaxed. I am now going to make some suggestive statements that will be embedded deeply in your mind at this relaxed state of mind. Take a deep breath. Feel your body healthy, strong. Every organ, every system, every cell is perfectly healthy and functioning in a rhythmic manner. You are strong. You are positive. You are optimistic. The universe has your back. Being in this calm, relaxed state is natural to you. It feels perfectly in harmony. Let this experience flow down from head to toe. You are at a deeper, healthier, amazing state of mind. Deeper than sleep, calmer than sleep. It feels perfect. Think about the ocean waves touching your feet. You are experiencing bliss, peace, divinity, health, positivity, feeling blessed. We will now slowly come out of the meditative state. I will count from 1 to 5. At the count of 5, you will gently open your eyes, feeling positive, better than before, feeling amazing. 1, 2, 3. When you come out of this state, you will feel healthier, better than before, feeling like you've had the perfect night's sleep, feeling revitalized, refreshed, in perfect health, better than before. 3, 2, 1. Wide awake, feeling fine, in perfect health, better than before. Okay, how was that feeling? Would anyone like to share? Can you please type in the chat window if you'd like to share how you felt? Anyone?
Hello. Hello.
Yes?
Yeah, it was the guided meditation was better because when you sit by yourself, there's lots of thoughts coming in the mind. So normally you're not able to do the meditation so deeply, though it was a pretty small session. But whenever you sit by yourself without any guidance, sometimes you seem to be distracted and don't
Yes.
get that. Yeah. So it was good, yeah, in a way, good experience. Yeah, felt better. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Tushar. Would you like to share, Annapurna? She was saying that.
Sorry, I have to unmute it. माझ्या background मध्ये खूप आवाज चाललाय. It was very good. It was very relaxing, and I enjoyed it.
Very good. Thank you for
And
sharing.
Yes, as you know, I'm normally a very positive person, so I'm always seeking, any motivation or positivity coming my way. So yes, that's why I'm here today. I wanted to share before, but there was too much noise in the background. Couldn't share it before. Yes.
Thank you, Anna.
It was really good. Thanks. Thank you for sharing with us, Kalyani.
You're most welcome. Dipti? Can we unmute her? Would you like to share, Dipti?
Yeah, it was very nice. It was relaxing. Thanks, Kalyani, Jayanti, and Sachin. Thank you.
You're most welcome. All right, let's move on to the next part of our webinar. We're going to do some affirmation card reading, and for this, I will hand over to Jayanti to explain what affirmation card reading is.
Hey everyone. So I love this really simple thing that I really like to do to uplift myself. And these are something called affirmation cards. So I've got this pack right now. It's called The Universe Has Your Back by Gabby Bernstein. So it's a really positive deck full of simple positive messages. And what I really like to do is at a time when I'm feeling low, I like to just pick up a card and read a message, just intuitively pick something. And I feel like, what can I draw from this? What information can I get out from this? So what I would like to do for you guys is I've picked like these 20 cards just intuitively, and some of them which I really like. So if you could, in the chat window, type out a number and I will pick a card for you and I'll read out the message to you. Okay, I've got 6 from Margot. So Margot, I've got this message for you. It's a really long one, but I'm going to read it out. It says, "Thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perceptions so that I can see what is of the highest good." And I love this card because these are the times when we are really living in fear, and fear really limits us. And the idea behind acknowledging a higher power or universe or something like that is to just know that there's something which is, which is your friend, which is going to help you out in this situation. So I really like this card. So Margot, that's my message for you. You can thank the universe for helping you to see beyond the limits of your fear. So there is something there is something bigger than this fear in this situation, especially. So I've got 9 from Deepti. I'm going to pick that one because 9 is my lucky number. So I've got this for Deepti. It's a really small message, so I'm going to read it out to you. It says, "There is nothing sexier than my authentic truth." And I love that because sometimes it's amongst fear and in this situation, we find it really hard to connect with ourselves and be our authentic selves. And I think that's the most attractive part. So if there is a way to be your authentic self, I think there's nothing more beautiful than that. So I really love this message. So if there's anything you can get out of this message, Deepthi, then that's it for you. I've got 11 from Sanjay. I'm going to pick that. Okay, this is a long one, and it says, the moment I embrace my peace within and surrender, the outcome is in the moment that the universe can truly get to work. And I love this because it's the idea of surrendering to something bigger. And once we start doing the inner work, once we start doing the work for ourselves, I think that's when we start getting the outcomes automatically. So sometimes instead of just focusing on what's the outcome, what am I supposed to do in the external circumstances, instead of that, if we can just focus on how can I be at peace and how can I just surrender, the outcome automatically starts coming to us. I've got 10 from Apurva, so I'm going to read that now. And that's 10. So this is a really supportive message. And it says, there is a stream of love supporting my dreams. So Apurva, whatever dreams you have, remember that you've got loved ones around you who are supporting your dream. So that's my message for you. I've got 14, so I'm going to read that. 14. So it says, it's a really nice picture. And it says, when I'm connected to my joyful presence, I attract support from the universe. And it's so simple, isn't it, that we underestimate the power of being happy and being joyful. And we often think that we have to make our circumstances better in order for us to be joyful. But I think it really works the other way around, that if we start being joyful first, then we almost automatically start attracting better things in our life. So I've got 7 from Nisha. I'm going to read that. So that was okay. That's you, Nisha. It's a really nice pink and purple card. So I love these colors. It says, in every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love. So, so many times we think about, why is this happening to me? And we always think about bad things, but we have to remember that the universe or this higher power is actually our friend, and it's almost always backing us up. But sometimes we fail to recognize that. And that's your message, that remember that the universe is your friend, if you've forgotten that. So I think I've read quite a few of them now, and I hope that you've got something positive out of this. And if you'd like, you should buy one of these for yourselves also. It's a really wonderful exercise to just wake up in the morning, pick up a card, and feel like there's something talking to you, and there's something that's uplifting you.
All good? Shall we move on?
Yes.
Yes. So that's the halfway point of our webinar, which leads us on to something interesting. This is actually my favorite part of the webinar. So I'm going to share I've been doing some research, and I thought when I saw this particular thing that this was the essence of the webinar. I'm going to share it's almost like a process cycle, you know, those, if you ever seen those cyclic diagrams. It said that our thoughts ultimately turn into everything that manifests in our life, the results, the people, everything that's in our life is a product of our thoughts. So how is it like that? I'm just going to share this with you. What we think determines what we believe. because our thoughts are constant chatter in our mind. And I think the average person with an average mindset usually has around 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. 90% of those thoughts are the same thoughts that we had yesterday, which is quite interesting. And because of that repetitive nature, it leads us to believe things. And our beliefs determine how we feel, and how we feel influences how we act. And that is obviously what the results are. They are what you, the way you choose to act. And then the results are right in front of you, and they again determine your thoughts. So it's like this cyclic thing. And I will simplify it with a very, very like a example that probably everyone can relate to. If you are a person who is looking for a new exciting job or a promotion, oftentimes we are self-sabotaging, and I think nearly everyone can relate to this. If I am that person and in my head, I'm constantly thinking, oh, I really need that promotion. I deserve it better than anyone else. Oh, but look, I just should have had that extra certification. Oh, I should have done that extra bit of training. Or maybe I should wait until I'm this or I'm that. But I still want that. And those thoughts are making me believe that I'm inadequate, that I'm somehow lacking something. I'm lacking. And that lacking feeling is then making me, impacting my self-esteem. And the limiting self-esteem and the limiting belief is now making me feel like when I see a job advertised there or an opportunity for a promotion, I don't want to act on it. There is that feeling of, oh, what's the point? I'm not going to get it. What's the point? I haven't done this, that, and the other. What is that causing? That is causing me to not act on it, to not put my best foot forward. And that is then resulting in me not getting the promotion or not getting that exciting offer because I didn't act in a different way. To get a different result from what you're currently getting, you have to act in a different way. I think we all know it. But the reason why we are stuck in the rut is exactly what this explained to me. So what do you think, Jayanti, about this?
I 100% agree with you, definitely. And we underestimate how important it is to be vigilant of our thoughts. We just let our thoughts pass by, and you never know when that thought will turn into a tree of belief. So it's really important. And two of the simple techniques that Kalyani and I follow, I want to share those with you because they're so simple. They're so unbelievably simple, and yet really, really powerful. So the first technique I'm going to share with you is a silver method technique that I use very often. A lot of my friends who are in this window will know about it also. And they know it to the extent that sometimes they remind me now that you haven't said cancel, cancel. So that's the name of the technique. It's called cancel, cancel. So every time you have a thought which you think about yourself, you demean yourself, you underestimate yourself, you undervalue yourself, you call yourself a failure, you don't give yourself enough credit. Anytime this happens, use the word cancel, cancel, and say you're getting better and better. For example, if I did something, if I was not really good at a particular thing, for example, I was making, say I have no experience of dancing, and I just say that I'm a horrible dancer, I have like 6 left feet. And if I say, no, I'm a perfect dancer, I'm amazing, that's not going to work, right? So instead of that, I would say, cancel, cancel, I'm getting better and better at dancing, if dancing is one of the goals that I wanted to achieve. And this is incredibly simple. It helps us really stay vigilant with our thoughts. So I love this technique, and I would really encourage you all to use it. The second technique that we use all the time is called lofty questions. And this is a technique by Christy Marie Sheldon. And I saw it in one of her Mind Valley videos, and Kalyani and I use it very often, even with the kids. It's so easy, innovative, and cute. So every time something bad happens, have you noticed that you ask yourself this question, why me? Why did this bad thing happen to me? why am I so depressed? Why am I so unlucky? We're almost programmed to ask these sort of questions. So instead of that, every time you ask that question, I want you to turn it around into a positive, lofty question. And the positive, lofty question, the condition is that it must be something real that you already have, something that you can actually be grateful for. For example, in these times of coronavirus, I can't say, why am I so lucky to go out of my house and party? Because I know that's not true. I can't do that. But I can say, why am I so lucky to have shelter? Why am I so blessed to have this in the time of technology where I can stay with people, stay connected? Why am I so lucky that I'm aware, I'm willing to work on myself on these times? So there's always something to be grateful for, and there's always a positive, lofty question that you can ask yourself. And I would really encourage you all to ask these lofty questions, journal them down, and trust me, it will really uplift you.
Perfect. So I'm going to reverse that cycle or rather break that cycle of the vicious cycle that I was talking about. So for example, if I'm looking for that fantastic job and I'm constantly thinking about why didn't I do this? No. You can say that, why am I so lucky that I'm encountered with this opportunity? Why am I so lucky that this person came at the right time to give me some guidance? Or if there's nothing there for you, you can just, I have this post-it note that I've stuck in my wallet that I keep reading every now and then, where I say, why am I so lucky to be at the right place at the right time? And believe me, even if you have just written it down and the first thing your mind will just dismiss it, oh, come on, that's not true. If you keep asking that repeatedly, your mind starts looking for evidence. So if you're in a financial situation and you think, oh, why am I broke? Why don't I have money? Your mind will look for evidence. So your thought is like, the mind looks for evidence literally for everything you say subconsciously. So if you say, why am I so lucky? Why was I at the right place at the right time? Your mind will start digging for the evidence. And there might be this one opportunity 5 months ago that you were at the right place at the right time, and you will recall that. And when you recall that, your mind will start believing, yes, I was lucky. That will change your belief. That will immediately uplift your feeling. And that will encourage you, that will put you in a positive state of mind, an optimistic state of mind. And an optimistic state of mind is scientifically proven to kill procrastination, help you take that action, bring that bounce back in your step. And that will obviously change your result. As soon as it changes your result, what happens? Your confidence goes up, your self-esteem goes up, the way you look at yourself changes. And that is how the cycle will break. So I think just write down these lofty questions. And I would recommend, if you are interested, you can Google Christy Marie Sheldon and probably listen to some of her talks. They're pretty interesting. So I think we can now move on to our next topic, which is another guided meditation. So if you're feeling ready for it, I'm going to hand over to Jayanti, who's going to do meditation for healing.
So next we're going to move on to this guided meditation for healing. And I'm going to play the music now, and I'm hoping that you guys will be able to hear it along with my voice. So take a comfortable position and give me a thumbs up if you can hear the music. Okay. Can you hear? So take a comfortable seated position, and I want you to take a few deep belly breaths. Breathe in softly from your belly. Now, I want you to bring your attention to your body. And I want you to scan your body from head to toe. Scan for any areas of discomfort, any areas of your body that you think need healing, repair, or rejuvenation. Start scanning, beginning from your head. Notice the muscles of your face. Feel them relaxing. Bringing a gentle smile to your face often helps in relaxing. Think about your neck and your back muscles. Release all the tension from these areas and notice if you have any areas of discomfort. Notice your abdomen. Feel your belly as it expands as you breathe. Relax your hips and your pelvic region. Relax your thighs, your calves, your ankles, your toes. Now, as your body is completely relaxed, I want you to picture a bright white light in front of you. Feel this light glowing. This light has healing energy. I want you to hold this light in your hands and allow this energy to flow into your body. Your body is a precious vehicle, and I want you to express gratitude for this beautiful body that you have. Now I want you to send this healing energy, especially into those areas of your body that had discomfort, that lacked energy. Allow this energy to slowly flow into all those areas. Your body is healing. Remember, the power that created this body has the power to heal this body. The power that created this body has the power to heal this body. Now, as you soak up the energy from this healing light, I want you to picture your loved ones standing in a circle around you. Send this healing energy to your loved ones. Picture them in a happy, healthy state of mind. Remember that healing others can be healing for yourself. Now, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. And at the count of 5, you will be wide awake feeling wonderful, feeling healed, knowing that your body is going to repair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awake and feeling better. So, how was that experience for you? Does anyone want to share something or say something in the chat window? Anybody? Okay, feeling energized and calming. Thank you. Yes, it's really important to also heal other people because it heals yourself as well as you heal others. Okay, shall we move on?
Yes. Thank you, Jayanti. That was very revitalizing. Wonderful. So that brings us, we've got 10 minutes left. That brings us very close to concluding this webinar, and I am going to let Jayanti speak a little bit about this slide that you can see and the quote you can see on that slide.
So I
Jayanti is having some disruption, I guess. Can you hear Jayanti? No. Okay. We'll wait for her to come back. In the meantime, I'm going to tell you a few things. So we'll let Jayanti talk about it, but I'm going to leave you with some resources at the end of this webinar. And if you're on Instagram, I would recommend a couple of accounts that you can follow. If you're interested in a daily dose of motivation, inspiration, there's an account called Higher Conscious Habits. You can follow them, and they do a daily quote for every single day, which is, I find that sometimes when I open Instagram and I'm actually scanning for something, I need a message, I need a intention for the day. It's surprising how the first thing that pops up on Instagram is this, and obviously it's to do with the algorithm of Instagram as well. But oftentimes I find answers to what I'm looking for in these quotes, so I would highly recommend. The second account is Janine Chaka International. So Jayanti and I are incredibly lucky that we got to do the Silva training, which is a 4-day immersion program, and it was absolutely fantastic. I think it's totally worth the money we spent. Janine is the certified trainer for Silva Method in Australia. Silva Method is a course that is available worldwide. So if you Google, and I'm sure you can find, if you're interested in doing the course, you can find an instructor close to you, I'm pretty sure. And the third account is Mind Valley. They also have a YouTube channel, and you'll find like a variety of speakers, nearly every subject related to personal development, from health, well-being, memory, mindfulness. There's heaps to choose, and there's a lot of free material. So you can follow them on Instagram, or you can look up their YouTube to access the free talks. Jayanti, I'll let you talk about the slide now.
Okay, I'm back now. Sorry about that. I've typed in the names of what Kalyani spoke about before in the chat window. So if you've missed it, you can have a look at the chat window now and go and find them on their websites or on Facebook or Instagram. I just wanted to quickly make a note of Sean Aker and his research that I was talking about earlier. And one of the key findings of Sean Aker's research in positive psychology was that he said that happiness is a choice, much like what people say, but the very important thing about happiness is that it's an interconnected choice rather than an individual choice. So it's really important that as we turn into happy human beings, it's important that we also uplift other people around us. And that's the real happiness, so that we're interconnected and we can keep each other motivated and happy. And that's why it's really important to build a community around us. And I love that you guys all came together today, and I'm so grateful to each and every one of you. I also had a quick list of books that I would like to recommend. One of them is The Silver Method. So if you can't actually go in person and do the Silver Method, you can always read the book. It's a really short book, and it is full of all these small techniques that you can actually follow for yourself. So I would highly recommend you doing that. The second book is called Living in the Flow. It's by Janine Shaka, who's our mentor, who's the person who has taught us the Silver Method. And she is really an example of someone who lives in the flow all the time. So she's written a book about it, and I would really recommend all of you to read it. The other book, which is a general reading that I really like, and I think everyone should read this book, because it has really been something to think about. It really changes our perspective, and it's called Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. So I'm going to put these down in the chat again. If you guys want to have a look it up. And I hope that you can find some time to read these books now that you're sitting at home. We can't go out, so I think it's the best time to reflect inwards. So we're staying in, and let's go inside, and let's look within ourselves and what we can do better for ourselves and for other people around us.
Perfect. Thank you, Jayanti. There's another book here with me. I have The Power of Positive Thinking. And as you can see, it's not a very fat book, so you can read it. And I think we're always saying, oh, when I have time, I'm going to read this, when I have time, when I have time. We have time now. I would think that being in lockdown, most of us have time. So read something, maybe a small book. The other book that is a classic, and I think no matter how many times we read it, every time there will be something new to learn, Think and Grow Rich. I think it's fabulous. And the fact that it was written in the 1930s is just amazing. Yep. And so the last thing I'm going to say is, so Jayanti and I are excited. We always had something in mind. And then I think sometimes the lockdown situations, or the situations where we can't do much outside, really helps us to focus and look inside. So the times of being at home, compulsorily at home, has led us to coming up with this venture that we are calling Teja. Teja in Sanskrit means radiance. So Teja is discovering your radiant. I think every single person has a radiant element in themselves, and a little bit of positive thinking, a little bit of mindfulness, thinking about well-being, using small techniques can really help you discover and put you in touch with your optimistic side, your radiant side. We are starting this Instagram page, and you feel free to stay connected with us, so you can follow that. We will be putting on some interesting quotes or mindfulness messages on this page. We are very excited about it. So, Jen,
Okay.
would you like to say some concluding words?
Thank you. I just want to express massive amount of gratitude to everyone who's been here. Please reach out to me. Please reach out to Kalyani, and we would love to build a strong community. And if we can add any value to anybody's life, that would mean a lot to both of us.
Thank you, everyone. As Jayanti said, immensely grateful that all of you came to our very first session. And we are very excited. We would love to be connected with you all. And if you are interested in more webinars, or if you're interested in specific topic, please, we would love to hear. So we can talk some more, and hopefully everyone gets some inspiration, some motivation, and some positivity from our conversations. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Goodbye. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kalyani Jayanti. It was nice hearing to you.
You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kalyani, Sachin, Jayanti. It was really nice. I would love to join your Insta page.
Thank you very much.
You. Yeah. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks, Kalyani Jayanti. It was lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi Jayanti, hi Kalyani Tai. This is a lovely initiative. All the best to you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kalyani. Thank you, Jayanti, and thank you, Sachin.
Thank you.
All the best for the new venture. Kalyani, could you please, I put it in the chat, can you please give me the name of the book for the 1930s?
I did.
I've written it.
Yeah.
Oh, you've written it, okay.
It's Think and Grow Rich.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm very proud.
Thank you. Close करो.
Thank you, Apurva. Thank you, Nitin, for joining.
Thank you, Sachin. Bye.
Bye-bye.